Hello students, today we are going to revise Chapter 3, Our Changing Earth. This is your geography chapter and we are going to revise the long question answers. So you can open your notebooks and books as well for the revision. First long question is, distinguish between weathering and erosion. So what is weathering? Breaking down of rocks on the earth's surface. Weathering means breaking down of rocks on the earth's surface, that is weathering. And what is erosion? Wearing down or carrying away of rocks. What is erosion? Wearing down or carrying away. When the means these erosion means when something is wear down, the soil, the topsoil is being removed with the help of wind, water, air, human activities. That is erosion. So wearing down or carrying away of rocks, when the rocks are weared down or carried away with the help of action of running water, glaciers, sea, waves, winds, that is your erosion. So in your weathering, many factors influence the breaking down of the rocks, that are change in the temperature and the pressure. Second is action of running water. When your temperature changes, pressure changes, then your rocks are broken down into small pieces, or sometimes when there is action of running water, then also weathering takes place. But erosion is wearing down and carrying away of the rocks. It's wearing down and carrying away of the rocks with the help of wind, water, air, sea, etc. Erosion depends upon your rainfall, first thing. Second is your slope of land. And third thing is the change in the land use pattern. Change in the land use pattern. Okay, rainfall, slope of land, and change in land use pattern. Come to the B part of the first question only. There is a difference distinguished between active volcanoes and dormant volcanoes. This we have done in the map work also. So active volcanoes are those volcanoes which have erupted in the recent past. Those volcanoes which have been erupted in the recent past, and we can expect that those volcanoes can erupt in future also. Okay, these are those volcanoes that have erupted in the recent past, and in future also they can erupt anytime. So that is your active volcanoes. Active volcanoes are also known as living volcanoes. Which volcanoes? Living volcanoes. Example is Mount Etna, that is in Italy, Cotopaxi, Ecuador, Barren Island, India, and Furness Peak in Indian Ocean. This volcano has erupted more than 80 times in the recent past. Dormant volcanoes are those volcanoes which have not been erupted from centuries. It is silent, it is sleeping. That's why dormant volcanoes are also known as sleeping volcanoes. Okay, they have not been erupted for centuries but may still do so. Okay, they may still keep on sleeping only. Means they will not erupt at any time. That is your dormant volcano. Mount Vesuvius, Italy. Fujiyama, Japan. Haleakaloha, Maui. It is in Hawaii. Haleakaloha, Maui. It is in Hawaii. It is the world's largest dormant volcano. That is in Hawaii. So this was your first answer. Further, we are moving to question number 2. That is, with the help of diagram, explain the formation of Oxbow lakes. So whenever you are doing the diagram, below the diagram there are many things written. So if simply you are making the diagram and writing these things, your answer is complete. Fine. So you can write this also in the formation of Oxbow lakes. So first diagram is showing it is a river coursing through a flat plain, develops a snake-like curve. This is a river. It is coursing, it is flowing through a flat plain, and it develops a snake-like curve that is known as meanders. In the next picture, these meanders, they grow. Okay, these meanders, they grow and water washes away the land on the outer edges. On the outer edges, water washes away the land. You can see it was coming straight through, but here when the meander grows itself, the water washes away the land on the outer edges. Next is here, over thousands of years have passed, these meanders curve back itself. You can see this curve. Okay, it curves back itself. So over 1,000 years have gone, these meanders, they curve back itself. Okay, this is the diagram. Next, debris, pieces of broken rocks. Debris means pieces of broken rocks are being collected in this loop, in this neck creating. It creates an Oxbow lake. It creates an Oxbow lake. Debris collects in the loop of the neck, creating in the Oxbow lake. Next, third question is, explain briefly the work of wind as an agent of erosion. See, wind acts as an agent of erosion in the dry desert areas. In the dry desert areas, the wind blows in the desert area, they drag the sand along the path of the wind. Wherever the wind is moving, it drags this land into that direction. Okay, so wind act as an agent in the dry desert area where the wind blows. In desert area, it drags the sand along with its path. The sand filled winds, so they scour and scrape. Scour and scrape means rubbing the surface so hard that all the dust and dirts will be removed. So sand-filled winds, they scour and scrape the rocks. Okay, with this much force, they scour and scrape means they clean the surface, that dirt should be removed. The load of sand is very closer to the surface area. This is land surface, so it is closer to the surface area, not on the upper portion. In the lower portion, the rock is more eroded than the upper portion, forming your mushroom-shaped rocks. It forms your mushroom-shaped rocks. I can show you. These are your mushroom-shaped rocks, you can see. Its lower portion is more eroded than the upper part. Okay, this is mushroom rocks. It is also known as hoodoos. Okay, it's also known as hoodoos. Next question we are going to discuss, the question number 4th that is there. The earth experiences about 1 million of earthquakes every year. Okay, about 2 earthquakes per minute happens. What can we do to minimize the effects of earthquake? Very simple question they have asked, that earth have experienced that millions of earthquakes are happening in the earth every year. They are saying about 2 earthquakes per minute is happening. What can we do to minimize the effects of the earthquake? First and foremost thing, see, we need to build more flexible structures, more flexible buildings made up of wood and steel instead of your bricks and stone. Because the buildings which are made up of bricks and stones, they are inflexible. They are not even flexible at all. Concrete columns can also be helpful. Concrete columns will be helpful. We can add the damper on the... We can do the damper system on the top, and we can do the active tendon system at the bottom. Whenever the earthquake comes, if on the building the damper surface is on the top and the active tendon system is at the bottom, what happens, that building weights can be shifted around. Okay, it makes the building sturdy. What is the meaning of the word? It makes the building sturdy. Sturdy means to build something very strong. So what is happening, I am telling you, that upper portion, it should be made up of damper, and lower active tendon system should be there. Okay, it makes the building structure, because weight can be shifted, and it makes the building structure, it will shift the weight and it will make the building structure sturdy, more strong. It would be better if such buildings are constructed under the supervision of the trained engineers. If an untrained person cannot build such kind of building, it should be built under the supervision of the trained engineers only. Last question of long is, weathering refers to process that breaks the rocks into small and smaller pieces. We did in the first answer. Does weathering provide people some benefit also? Explain. First point. Yes, it provides some benefits also. It produces the soil that allows vegetation to grow on earth. So what happens? We are doing the 5th one. It produces the soil. which is essential for the growth and development of the plants. Second thing is weathering creates nutrient rich soil, means the land fertility automatically increases. As it makes the soil nutrient rich, so what happens now, more plants can be grown, more natural vegetation can be grown, so it is making the life on the earth possible. So weathering creates nutrient rich soil that allows the plants and trees can grow, natural vegetation can grow. It ultimately make the life on the earth possible. I hope you have got the points. Now we are going to do the short answer type questions. Long we have already discussed. Now, hello students, now we are going to revise the short question answers. First question is, what do you understand by the word plate tectonics? The theory of earth crust, it consists of some major and some minor plates, okay, which move across the mantle, which move across the semi-molten mantle below the earth crust. It is known as plate tectonics. The earth crust is made up of 7 major and some minor plates. What causes volcanic eruption? See, whenever a volcano erupts, it takes a lot of amount of pressure from within that volcano can be erupted. It erupts because there is a density of difference in magma, because the magma, from magma many gases are being released. We call that magmatic gases. From magma some gases are being released. Injection of new magma in the filled magma chamber, means magma is already there, but when the new magma entered, then also your volcano will erupt. And last is convergence and divergence of tectonic plates. See, when two tectonic plates, they are moving towards each other, that is converging tectonic plates. When two tectonic plates, they move away from each other, that is diverging tectonic plates. Okay, because of that also volcanoes erupt. What type of feature formed by vertical tectonic plates? Vertical tectonic plates always forms your continents and plateaus. Vertical tectonic plates form your continents and plateaus. Next question is, what do you mean by the word weathering? This we just did, that weathering is made up of breaking down of the rocks into smaller pieces from the earth crust. It may be happen, many factors influences the weathering, like action of running water, change in the heat and temperature. How are waterfalls created? Last question of short. How are waterfalls created? See, it is created when a river is coming and it plunges here. It plunges down from a great height, from the edge. It plunges down from a great height, from a highland, from a steep valley, from anywhere. When the water is falling down, what I am saying, a waterfall is created when river is flowing from here, it plunges down. When it plunges down from a great height, from any edge of your highland, your steep valley, on an horizontal band of rocks with cut soft rocks below, that forms the path of the river. I'll show you. Here in the book, you can see the diagram of waterfall. Here the river comes, it plunges. When it plunges from here, it is from a great height, okay? From a highland, from a steep valley, it can fall down. When the water is falling down, here, these are your soft rocks, okay? These are your hard rocks. So water when falls down, okay? Here, small fallen rocks are already there. So like this, the waterfall is being created. In your answer key, it is being written that waterfall is when water plunges down from a highland, from a steep valley, from the edge, and horizontal band of hard rocks are formed, undercut soft rocks. That forms your waterfall. The very short question answer first is, what causes convention currents inside the earth crust? See, heat and pressure heat and pressure of the molten magma, next is from the question, causes convection current inside the earth crust. Second question is, what forces up the molten magma on the earth? The extreme heat and pressure, it forces the magma up. Name the scale that is used to measure the intensity of seismic waves. You know, the Richter scale is used to measure the intensity of seismic waves when earthquake comes. Name the two factors that forces means continuously wear down the rocks from the earth's surface. See, two factors are, one is weathering, another one is erosion. One is weathering, another one is erosion. We did in the long question answers. What is the result of the horizontal tectonic movements? Whenever your horizontal tectonic movement is there, your folds and faults are being formed. Okay, folds and faults are being formed through horizontal tectonic plates. So my dear students, today your homework is to learn this chapter properly and thoroughly. Do the diagram of the Oxbow lakes also. Thank you and have a nice day ahead.